Alright. It works. That was unreal. I cannot believe that worked, you guys. Alright guys, so today I got good news. I've got the drive shaft out. It kind of fell apart actually whenever it came out. Nothing to brag about, but looking at the condition of it, it probably needed to be replaced anyway. This boot is gone. Looks like there's all the pieces are still in there. It could just need to be, it's got a lot of debris, but I'm gonna try to clean it, put a new boot on it. It's not gonna be the same style boot, but I'm gonna try to put a different style boot on it, put some clamps, see how that works. I mean, they want $1,800 for this drive shaft, and I don't wanna spend that on a drive shaft. That don't make any sense. Anyway, the one part that usually is bad on this one, this carrier bushing, it's actually in really good shape. There's barely any play. It looks like it may have just recently been changed. So lucky me. Now for the other news. I'm out of breath because I just had to get this heavy transmission jack out of the back of my truck, and my truck sits up kind of high. And I had to do this by myself, and the car is actually underneath the hoist. So I usually, when I have heavy items, I use a hoist to get things out of it and lower it down to the ground, because I'm intuitive that way, not lazy. Anyway, I have this motorcycle jack underneath here, and I was going to use it to get the transmission out. Problem is, when that thing is all the way up, there's still like a foot from the top of it to the transmission, so it's not going to work. So I went to AAA, rented this jack, and I've got to have it back in 30 minutes, or I will get charged for 3 days. Don't ask why. That's how my work schedule works. I won't have time to bring it back unless I get it back today. And it's $50 a day. So I don't really want to pay $150 for something like this that I'm going to use for like 30 minutes. So I have about 30 minutes, and I'm wasting time now talking. Alright, let me get all situated, get everything done, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I'm underneath here. Let me explain what I've got. I've got a jack that is missing pieces, but I'm just trying to get it down and get it on the ground so that I can redo it, and then I'll bring this jack back. And all the bell housing is undone. They're mostly on top, and if you can get your downpipes out, you can reach mostly all of your bell housing bolts. The dual mass flywheel is unbolted from the flywheel, and the drive shaft is undone. And looks like it's ready to come out. I've got all my hoses undone, wires are undone. Just gonna have to be very slow and very careful and watch everything, because I may have missed something, you know, and I'm not perfect. Plus those downpipes are just dangling there. Probably should bolt those back up, but I think they'll be all right. I got one bolt in them. It is what it is. But I'm gonna set y'all up and get y'all out of the way because I'm gonna be maneuvering a lot and going around a lot, and I've got 15 minutes to do this. Which is not enough time at all. And you guys, I am doing the forward bolts first. And I'm also staying out from underneath it. I've got some kind of oil leak there. Whoa. Yep, we are free. It is off. Nothing is holding it on. Alright guys, sorry about that. My camera actually just turned off. I changed the battery, it wouldn't turn back on, so I had to figure out what was going on with it. Turns out the batteries were bad, which is weird. Anyway, got the transmission out, and I did have a little bit of trouble getting it out because there was a wire, a very small wire, that was wrapped around the output shaft, and I couldn't see it because it was so small, and I didn't find it until the wire snapped. And the transmission came out nice and smooth, laid it on the ground, and I'm actually going to show it to you here. By the way, it was not this clean when I got it out. I did clean it because there is no reason not to. I've got it out, might as well clean it. And I even knocked off all the rust off of this so that when I put it back on, it's going to have a nice smooth surface to mount to. It won't have any type of debris or anything that can off balance it. And I was also thinking about these shields. And the shields went on the top, and I didn't understand why. And I think I got it. I think I figured it out. What I'm thinking is, if, let's say, some reason the bolts for the CV shaft snaps, or if the CV shaft fails in some way, it's actually protecting the engine, the intake manifold of the engine. The intake manifold is on the bottom side of the heads, but it will protect it and keep it from flipping up and hitting wiring harnesses, the intake manifold, your exhaust, your catalytic converters. It'll actually keep it pointed down, which is pretty smart. And I was actually criticizing Audi for that, and that's just my idea of what it is. If you think it's something else, you could comment and tell me what it is. I don't understand why. And let me show you how it mounted. So these little shields mounted on the top right here. It's the only thing I could think of. And this, yeah, this is the right side. This is where it went. Also, look at the difference. clean. I didn't mean to do that to y'all. The clean, and that's not cleaned yet. I will clean it. And what I'd use to clean it is Castrol Super Clean, and I have old detail brushes. I use these whenever they're new on the interior of the car. Once they get kind of used on the interior and they're not any good anymore, then I use them in the engine bay. After that, I'll use them inside the wheel wells. You know, you grade them once they've been used under the engine bay, then you move on to the next dirtiest thing of the car next time you use them. But always use new ones on the inside of your car. Don't ever go clean under your engine, clean them, and then go use them on the inside of the car. Especially if you get chemicals or something like that on them. You don't want that in the inside of your car. It's not good, it's not healthy. So what I need to do now is I've got to, and this thing is not light, by the way. It gave that transmission jack that I rented from one of the rental stores. That transmission jack kind of freaked out when all the weight came down on it. So this thing weighs 350 pounds without any fluid in it. And it has 7 liters of DSG fluid, 4.5, I think, somewhere around there, of gear oil and transfer case oil, and I believe it has another quart inside the front diff. And actually, if any of you guys know, how do you put fluid in this thing? It doesn't make any sense. I know that if I've got new seals because I was going to rebuild this. Not rebuild it, replace all the seals. When you open it up, the bearing here is really good. And on the other side, which this one right here, it's common to go out. And as you can see, that thing has no play. It is in excellent shape. I'm very happy because I heard that you cannot find that bearing. It's a special size and it is really hard to do. You actually have to bring the whole belt housing to a shop, and they have to drill a different size hole and replace the bearing with a different bearing, a generic bearing. A lot of trouble. I'm so glad I don't have to do that. Hashtag blessed. Another thing, this dual mass flywheel, I don't know if it's supposed to sound like that. It's kind of noisy, but when the engine was running, it didn't make any noise. I think I'm going to go ahead and just buy a new one. I think they're like $300. I don't know. I think I'm just going to buy a new one. I'm going to take it off and see. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, so I'll take the dual mass flywheel off. In order to do that, you got to take off this front, I guess it's front drive shaft? I don't know. Whatever it's called. Doohickey's got to come off. No. And I am working one-handed here. That was a lot easier than I thought. Now we have Valdez appearing again. And I don't know if I got that on video, but all I did was just pull it and it came off. So to me, the dual mass flywheel, I don't know. I'll check that out in a minute. I need to address this spill. Be right back. Okay, so I've done some research on the dual mass flywheel. Turns out mine is good. Thank goodness, because these things are almost $800. I thought they were a lot cheaper than that. Almost busted my butt there. Turns out this car has a special one. Don't understand why, but I looked everywhere and it's about $830. Kind of sucks. Hopefully it never goes bad. But I learned a lot about how this thing works. So what it has is, these are springs. I need to stop doing that to you guys. These are springs on both sides. This center mass, and this is the outer mass. So this center mass has little arms that run. There's one right here, one right here. And the center mass will compress that. And it's not supposed to be much. You can go to the Luke website or Borg Warner, which this one is a Borg Warner. And you can look at the specs on how much play it's supposed to have from the center mass, from the outside mass. What you'll do is you'll put a mark on one and put a mark on the other, and then spin one mass, and you'll measure the distance that it travels. That's called free play inside of it. So another object that it has inside of this thing here, it's enclosed. You can't open it. You probably could, but it would probably break it. It has 4 weights hanging. They look kind of like a brake disc, and has 4 of them right here. They don't work like a brake disc at all, but they swing. Each one swings around, but as the flywheel spins faster, the grooves that are in it are shaped kind of like rainbows. The hangers, I'm gonna call them hangers, are shaped like rainbows, and as the flywheel spins faster, it stops those from moving. It's pretty neat how it works. Those things inside of it, listen to this. Let me see if I can remember the name. Centrifugal pendulum absorbers. That's here. And yes, I do have a mess from the gear oil here, and I'm starting to second guess changing these gaskets out. I probably will. I'm gonna go pull the manual, the workshop manual, and see how to replace those gaskets. See what's the right way to do it. But you can see here, I've got little, it's like it was leaking grease and some dirt and dust and grime got in there. So I'm thinking that the O-ring that is around this front plate is leaking, because I don't have any sludge coming from here. So this seals good, and that makes sense because it's on both sides. Looks just like that. It's symmetrical. So I'm thinking that is what was leaking. And the wind and everything just blew it up on top of the, not to mention everything spinning around, just blew it on top of the transmission and underneath the car. And I also have valve covers. My valve covers are leaking because that is Audi trait. Their valve covers leak. Same thing as, you know, more expensive car. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull this clutch, and that will be the it for this video. That'll be all. And the next video I'm gonna take the clutch apart and see if it's as bad as I think it is. I mean, it may not be. I'm gonna show you how I'm going to take this clutch apart. Let me go get all my tools together. It does require a special tool, but okay, you guys, I'm got everything together here. Don't laugh at me, okay? Let me show you my contraption. I have a crowbar resting right here, and I have a bolt. I didn't have a nut because Lowe's is closed, and I'm not going there first thing in the morning. I want to just get it popped out. And then I have, this is a tie rod tool, and this is just the this is an extra bolt that I had for putting the nose in service mode. So let me see. I'm going to connect to my extra screen so I can make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. And don't laugh if this fails now. Don't you laugh at me. Let's see. Alright. I'm going to take a second crowbar here. Stick this right here. Probably need to grab something a little bit stronger than that one. And does this have threads? Let's see. It does not have threads. This screwdriver should hold. Alright. It works. That was unreal. I cannot believe that worked, you guys. I can't believe that worked. Okay, you guys, so I'm done impressing myself, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this one-handed. I know that rag's in the way, but I've got to put the camera down. Connect my third screen here. And there we go. That thing is heavy. Let me put my other glove on. Alright guys, the old clutch is out. Looking in here, let's go ahead and real quick explain. This is the mechatronics. These are the gear selectors, the actuators for that. This is the input shaft for one set of gears, and this for the other set of gears. And so far everything looks pretty good. That level I think the oil level. Oh yeah, it's leaning back. I was about to say the oil level looks really low, but I've got it tilted back, so that's normal. The seal in there looks good. They put a lot of thought into this thing. Man, that is impressive. Okay, and I can tell you now, whenever I picked this up and spun it around, you can hear all the disc inside of it clapping together, which tells me there's a lot of space in between them, so it's probably not good. Let's see what I can see here. Let's see. And this is the K1 clutch. It's bigger, so we probably have a lot more play. Or that one's actually probably in good shape, I would imagine. It was starting to slip, but I think that was just the mech unit going out. The K2 clutch is smaller, and I'm gonna open it up next video, and I'm gonna show y'all the two clutches, but I guarantee you it's not in good shape. If it is, I'll be really impressed. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call it a day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Had a lot of issues making this one. I apologize about that. I'm going to buy some attachments and maybe another camera. Don't know. I need to figure something out because this camera just it's good, but it's a little aggravating to deal with. Sorry, I keep looking down. I have another screen, and I have a screen up here trying to make sure that I have focus, but the screen up top, the batteries ran out, and I'm probably going to be editing a lot of this out. Anyway, I can't wait to open this thing up. Until next time, you guys, please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, hit me up in the comments. Have a good day. Thank you.